If an actor or like any sort of performer is good to show up and work, no one cares what else is going on.
In this episode, Emmy-winning actress Annie Winters opens up about her eating disorder, how close she came to dying, and how big of a role her followers actually played in saving her life. We talk about what chronic undereating really does to your brain and body, why it's so hard to see it in yourself, and how Hollywood and social media culture are quietly fueling these patterns. If you've ever struggled with food, body image, or feeling like you have to stay the smallest in the room, this episode's for you. Is There More is the podcast where creators share how their darkest moments became the breakthroughs that changed everything. We're building a space for raw stories, deep connection, and real hope for everyone who's still writing their story. Brought to you by Dialogue Life Skills, the world's scalable solution to the teen and young adult mental health crisis. I'm your host, Megan A Tully, and I'm listening.
I really wanted to get on here and really explain my story because I'm seeing it right now on social media so clearly, and I just feel like it's a good time for me to really share my story. Basically, all of my followers really saved my life. I was struggling with an eating disorder that I didn't realize I was struggling with from a very young age. I always ate very, very healthy, and I see that a lot as an excuse for actresses and stuff, like they eat very healthy or whatever, and that was me. But at the same time, it's no amount of healthy, it doesn't matter. Like, a calorie is what I learned, and if you're just not eating enough calories that your body needs, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, it's still malnourishing your brain and your body. And I think what people don't realize is it actually like takes away from your brain first and your functioning, and then it starts eating away at your body. So by the time you start seeing it, it's like it's already kind of gone away. Like, I think when you kind of pass a threshold of malnutrition, your brain doesn't see yourself the same way anymore, and you start like, I don't remember where the switch was, but like when I was like about to die at like 60 pounds, I didn't see myself like that. And when I look back now and see myself like at 60 pounds, I see, oh my God, that was really alarming. But I didn't feel that way in it. So I just feel like a lot of the times when we're going through it, we're not seeing accurately. And really, the only people that we can rely on from an eating disorder brain is it's not our own. It's like our friends, our family, and in my case, it was my fans that were really adamant about like me going and getting help and stuff like that. At the beginning, I was like, whatever. I did the same thing as someone just did by, stop hating. This is hate comments. This is body shame, just because I'm skinny. This is, blah, 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 blah. And I did that same thing. And let me just tell you, it's just, I didn't see it yet.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Is There More? If you haven't done it already, please hit the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube. It really helps the channel out. And if you're on Spotify, please subscribe as well. We drop new episodes every Thursday morning, and we're so happy to have you here. Okay, now back to the show.
It's just, I didn't see it yet. That's all it is. Is really, I just didn't see it yet. And I think that that's the problem right now, is that, if the people don't see the problem, then that's the number one thing. But I did want to get on here and encourage people to, like, fans and stuff, to keep saying things and to keep saying, no, this is wrong, or you need to get help, or in like a nice way. I always think your intent behind things matters. I think if you're like go eat a sandwich and you're being a little bit rude, I think that's not nice. But people that are coming from a caring place and are saying something, I genuinely think is important, because also what people don't realize is that celebrities and we don't have people that are kind of telling us what to do. Everyone's scared of us, you know what I mean? Like, no one really is going to tell you what to do. I mean, I would assume, especially up in, a position that all the Wicked cast and everything are in, like, a lot of people around them would get fired if they said something, if it's a touchy subject. No one says anything. I mean, I was literally walking a red carpet a week before I went to the hospital and died. I just showed up at that red carpet, just because I get invited to some red carpets and I show up sometimes just to get some cute shots or whatever. And seeing the progression of my red carpet photos has been really interesting, because I remember when fans were saying something about my figure back in like 2000, like before COVID, way before COVID, people were saying something about my weight. And that was another, you know, thing. I think it was an article, like Just Jared was like, Annie's responding to the haters or whatever of hate. And that's when I was like, no, I'm just thin or whatever. And at that time, I thought I was doing fine. Like, I wasn't engaging in any, in my mind, eating disorder behavior. I was just eating like one meal a day or something like that, or kind of just waiting until after I got all of my red carpet stuff and everything done, and then I would eat, which is another thing I would like to talk about, because the amount of times that you're like, in a dress or in something uncomfortable, or you're having to do something, you really don't have time to eat. And I would really love, the big difference between me and Ariana Grande, I'm just going to come out and say it, is just the fact that I have now acknowledged that I have struggled with eating, and she hasn't yet. And I think that people are more worried about someone that hasn't acknowledged something yet, because they haven't um because they haven't shown that they know and are going to maybe work on it. When someone doesn't really know that they have a problem, they're more likely to keep delving into it, you know? Um, so I think that's the worry. And I would love to talk to her. I mean, I just see so much of myself in her, and I would just, love to hear what she had to say, and give her my experience and stuff, because I know it's a lot of, pressure, and you're always in a cute outfit and you want to look cute, and you're used to being the smallest girl in the room. Ariana Grande, I'm pretty sure, is very short and petite, like me. And I think growing up, you kind of are like the smallest girl, or you're so tiny, or oh my gosh, you're so like little. And it kind of like gets in your head, and then you want to maintain that. You're like, oh, I am the littlest person in the room or something. So I don't know. This is all kind of just speculation. What I do know is that I have an eating disorder, and I can see someone with an eating disorder 1,000%. So there's no like denying it to me. It's just when you're gonna acknowledge it or not. I mean, the sad truth is there's gonna have to be a change, or I mean, whether that be behind the scenes that we're not seeing or not. So yeah, these are all my thoughts.
So
Yeah,
to
what do
kind
you have to say?
yeah. So to kind of summarize what you just said, which is incredible. You can see someone struggling. You see the similarities between specifically you and Ariana, and you've been through it before, and you know that when you have an eating disorder, maybe you can't trust yourself because your brain kind of goes first, and then you can really only rely on your people outside of you to tell you how you look, and maybe that you have a problem you should look at, and you ended up acknowledging it and got help, and so now you want to be able to talk to her and share your story because you can see that maybe nobody around her is telling her the reality because they're scared. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
You notice that people don't really want to tell celebrities. It's like maybe they have yes people around them, or they're not allowed to talk about the challenging topics because it's their profession, like they could lose their job. So did I get all of that?
Yes, you got that. Let me
And
also add,
yeah,
let
is
me
there more to
yeah, there is more. I also wanted to add that I just feel like there's a middle ground. I guess what I wanted to hear before admitting that I had any sort of eating disorder or anything was that I didn't have to necessarily go to the other side and like, you know, gain weight to where I felt uncomfortable in my body.
Mm,
I gained weight and I'm maintaining now at a weight that I feel still comfortable in my body, but I'm still healthy. And I want to share that it really is like a small change because like I'm in a range that I have to keep in. And if I go out of that, I get told I have a scale that I don't see my weight, and it goes straight to my nutritionist. And I get told if I'm in range or out of range, kind of thing. And with all this stuff of seeing Ariana Grande and everything, I've been eating less. It's just I feel like most people when they're scrolling Instagram and stuff, and you see someone really really skinny, you just people with eating disorders just eat it just like I'm not gonna eat right now. Like, I don't know, it just happens. And I've been seeing so many I'm actually really proud of the eating disorder community. Everyone's gathering around like, "We're gonna fight this wicked" just because, all this is out there, we're still gonna eat and we're still gonna maintain our, um, 3
oh, I
meals a
love that.
day and everything.
Yeah.
'Cause it is hard to see that, and I'm not sure what's going on and why no one's saying anything, in Hollywood or what, but, I mean, all I know is no one said anything to me either. Like, it's really like no one says anything to you, they just don't talk to you, or they don't cast you, or they don't they like, if you have something wrong with you, no one's gonna really say anything, they're just gonna kinda, like, not, you know, cast you or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay,
So,
so you wanted to add that this even seeing Ariana online and seeing the whole Wicked tour has been pretty triggering for you, and you noticed that you started eating less because you were triggered when you kind of saw her. You thought maybe unconsciously, maybe consciously, you kind of were like, well, maybe I don't need to eat that much today or whatever. It just kind of really triggered you to be in that mindset. But on that same coin, you said you found community in the eating disorder community online, and everybody's kind of like fighting against that, and they're talking about it, but maybe people close to her aren't talking about it. So and you said that your people close to you didn't talk about it either, and it was really your
yeah.
followers who so nobody in your life, like not even your mom or your agent, your
I mean,
manager, no.
people I think the thing is, and what I see with Ariana Grande too is, like, when you're so happy and you're so full of life, like, she's loving Wicked and, like, everything that she's doing, and she should. She's getting praise for this, amazing job that she did. And I think when all of that's happening, it's like you're so happy that like everyone that's like, is she okay? Is probably like, well, she seems great, she's happy, she's doing well, she's fine, you know, and that's kind of just how I was. I was like, I feel so good. Like, how could I be that sick?
Yeah, what was the comment or DM or whatever it was that kind of broke the camel's back for you? Do you remember what, like,
For
really got
me,
through
it
to you?
was losing my hair. It was when I started losing my hair.
Yeah.
I remember in Bali when I brushed my hair and I remember hair falling out and I was like, "No!" I was like, this is definitely a sign, and this means that I am wrong. Like, I am clearly not right about what's going on in my body, and I'm clearly not okay. And that's kinda when I was like, "Damn, I can accept help and stuff and save my hair."
Yeah, right?
But, like, yeah,
That's That's crazy,
yeah.
that's crazy.
And I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ariana Grande has always had kind of big hair, and we always play with extensions and stuff, so who knows what's real and what's not anymore, so you can't really
Totally.
tell. But I also think just in general nowadays, just with the lack of or just the heightened social media and everything, like our people that we watch on TV and stuff are now like glorified people to us. Like they're who we see on social media, they're who we look up to as people. Like actors and stuff used to not really be looked up to as role models necessarily as like people. Like we're just actors. Like I don't think necessarily every actor should be looked up to as a role model or someone for these young kids. And I think that that's something that we should really be talking about because some of these role models and people that are that kids are looking up to, I think are trash right now. I'm not gonna name any names and throw shit on people, but I just think that we need some standards for people now that are going into movies and TV shows and stuff. Like I think that they need to have um a little bit more of a responsibility like of what they're showing and how they're living life, you know. Just because someone's in a high up position or like being photographed in these really cool situations doesn't mean that like they should be looked up to as like a good person or something because you don't know that person's heart, you know?
So you think there should be almost like a vetting process for people who are gonna have more social responsibility? Um,
Honestly, yeah, I think that we should do that. I think
what
that
do you think that look
if
like?
you're going into like a hit show or if you're gonna do something like a 13 Reasons Why or Euphoria, something like that, I think that, yeah, you like, who are these teen girls that you're gonna be putting in here? Like, I think or, you know, I just think there's so much more meaning and purpose to life, and a lot of times it's just there's so much influence that people have up there, and I just think that it could be used for so much more good.
Such a good point. Do you have any ideas about like a vetting process for something like that?
No, and I don't think it would be like necessarily, I don't know, vetting. I would just think this is why I just like the in-person auditions. I felt like you could just kind of get to know, you could kind of get a personality and get a sense of the person in the room, you know.
Yeah.
Um But I guess now just knowing who the person is or based off their Instagram, like what are they representing or like what are they doing, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I've just been really anxious and wanting to get on here and just to tell everyone um in the eating disorder community like you're not alone, and I I mean, gosh, I don't know. I don't know. That was gonna be a big statement, but I feel like I kind of said everything in the earlier time.
Yeah. You wanna make an impact and you wanna make change. What are you doing now? Like, you said you have your nutritionist.
I'm in therapy, although I really just don't think therapy is enough anymore. I'm gonna, like, let's talk about that because I think talk therapy is like basic level, like, human need, like what you just like genuinely need to do. That could be to a therapist or to anyone, but I think it should be to a therapist so you don't annoy a friend or something. But like, I think that the real work comes in community. Like, you need to be with other people and practicing in community. It doesn't Work doesn't happen on your own in solitude, you talking to one therapist and kind of just being in your bubble. It happens by showing up in the world and, like, how are you going to, you know, do life? And how are you going to impact others and be in relationship to others and make others feel? And how are you going to communicate? Like, all the stuff that you've been working in therapy, how are you going to communicate that to the people around you so that you get the life that you're wanting? And I think this is why this course that we're doing in January is so important, because this is going to help people have better relationships and communicate with each other. And that is where you see some real change in your life happening, not going to therapy and telling them all your problems. I mean, that's great. I think that that's great too. But you also need to be in community as well, and working with other people, you know? And I think that, again, that just makes me think back to the Ariana Grande thing and thinking about just when I was, like, up there, and I just felt like, yeah, no one's gonna tell you anything wrong with you when you're up there and you're shining like that, because no one is going to do that, you know? So, I have such a heart for Ariana Grande. I really hope that, like, someone really impacts her, and, like, even just a shift of, like, "Oh, you know, like, I can see where you guys could see that," or I don't know, like, I mean, I just really wanna reach to the girls that don't see it yet, because that was literally just me, and, I mean, it's just so frustrating to be on the other
Yeah.
side and then to, like, it's also, like, why does she get away with it and not me? You know what I mean? It's like, how does she get away with it and not me? Why does she get to be all skinny and I had to go to the hospital, you know? But that's also
Yeah.
just a little voice of the eating disorder that's getting, like, smaller. I can still recognize it, it's still there, but it's not, like, the main voice in my head.
Wow. That's so cool that you can recognize that voice. Cause yeah, it is like it's a journey, right? I think, like, I didn't for my eating disorder, I didn't tell anybody for to until I was hospitalized, and even then I didn't tell people,
Yeah,
except for my boyfriend at the time who, like, really helped me, get back on track. I think if I didn't have him, I would have not gotten better as fast as I did.
yeah.
Um, but, like,
Good
even
support system.
yeah, exactly, especially, like, in person, like you said, somebody who's there and, like, helping you and saying, like, "I'm gonna cook you meat tonight," and stuff, and,
Yeah,
so it is, like, definitely, I don't think you can do that on your own, and I think it's really cool that you found an online community. Is there like a page, or where did you find these
Oh,
people?
no, I mean, when I just say community, I don't know. I guess when I went through everything and I was posting all these videos in the hospital, I started just seeing a lot of other girls struggling with that and stuff on my explore page. So, um, I don't know. I have videos that pop up about eating. So,
Yeah.
I guess I just say that kind of community just because I'm seeing a lot of like videos pop up about like we're we're eating even though Hollywood is going skinny or whatever.
Oh, that's
And
so cool.
yeah. But I will say it is strange to me that it does feel like Hollywood's like okay with being anorexic now. Like whereas it was very frowned upon not too long ago.
Yeah. It's a little bit scary to you that Hollywood's idolizing and still letting people be like anorexic, um, or whatever kind of, eating disorder they have. What do you think prevents like their manager or agent or like, the people closest to them that actually are responsible for them working? What do you think prevents them from saying something?
They don't say anything. If they are good, if an actor or like any sort of performer is good to show up and work, like no one cares what else is going on with you. I don't think. I mean, when it really comes down to it, I find it interesting. I mean, all I know is I have found what works for me and what will keep me alive and healthy. And I think that's still a journey, but again, the fact that like I've come out on the other side and can see it now for what it is and I can work on it and um like I did go down out of my range. I went out of my range like 2 weeks ago and then I had to eat a little bit more to get back into my range to keep it in there. And it's like little things like that to where I feel like even if it was just brought up to these celebrities or stars, it's like a little fix, just not anything crazy, just a little bit. It's just the difference of like having a light in you and not. And that's what I noticed. Like there's photos that I felt like there wasn't a light in my eyes. Like I kind of just looked a little pale or something. And I felt like Ariana Grande in that pink dress at the Oscars had that look of like just very pale and like cold, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm hoping that this makes some sort of difference, um, or just helps encourage people to at least know that they're not alone in feeling that, like, yeah, that is alarming, you know?
What would you say the benefits of you getting better from your eating disorder were? Like, how much different do you feel now, or what is different in your life? Because you talked about the brain being affected, which
Yeah.
I think, that could be a total transformation, for some. So,
I think in general, my nervous system is a little bit more relaxed just in general because I think when you're chronically malnourished or like or under eating and stuff, you're just really stressed. Like your body is under a lot of stress. It's really just overworking itself. And it's so I think like just being more calm and able to like focus on or able to enjoy life and like the little things. I think you're just kind of wanting to speed up a little bit when you're like malnourished or I don't know. There's different stages. At the beginning, it's like your brain is just kind of wanting to eat. So you're kind of just concentrated on either when you're going to eat next or kind of just a little on edge. And then when you pass that, you're like in bliss land where you're just feeling really great and you're like you're feeling on cloud 9 and you have like all this energy. And I just still couldn't believe that like almost on my deathbed was like becoming a yoga teacher in Bali and like doing yoga from like 6 in the morning till midnight every day. And I had like all this energy and I was feeling so good. And it's explained to me that that's like the end of your life feeling, that was like kind of my way out. So I don't know when that switch is, you know. I think the thing is when you're working and you're in that lifestyle, you just don't really like when you're not focused on food, sometimes you just are not eating, you know. I think also just in general it's hard even on set and stuff to eat. I mean, I've thought about that, like um maybe even writing in my contract that I need a little bit extra time for lunch just so that I actually feel like I can eat. Because I would say I never really eat lunch because it's so fast. And like I have such a thing, even still, like where it's hard for me to just eat. Like I need to eat when I feel like calm and relaxed and I don't have anything to do right away afterwards. And like it's like a whole thing. It's so for me, eating on set is very difficult. If it's especially if it's like 30 minutes or something, you get back, you try to eat and you are already on your way, it's like, forget it. I have to look cute in the outfit. So I think there's a real problem there. I think, well, I don't know. I think there's a real problem there for people that I think have a little bit of an eating disorder. If people are fine to eat with other people and everything, it's totally fine. But for me, it's difficult. So I would say like eating on set is hard. Even just really any like no one is thinking about that kind of stuff up there. It's like even Machine Gun Kelly, I was listening to an interview that he was like, I don't really eat, he says. Just like in general, I don't really eat. And he's like, I eat like a banana a day or something. And it's like,
Gosh.
what? You know? And I feel like that's kind of the lifestyle in LA. Like food isn't really like a necessity. I don't know. Maybe that was just my own. Let me not say that to everyone in LA.
Well, no, but
My
you're
eating
going so
disorder.
fast, it's hard to. And then I've noticed too, it's like a lot of times when you're on the road, you're eating stuff that your body doesn't necessarily like, it's just whatever's available. And then you're getting like sick or, your stomach's hurting or whatever. So it makes you not want to eat again because you're like, ugh, I just want to have, no interruptions in my day. And like, it's a thing, like I think that
It
the
just has to be
quickness of,
worked in. It's just
yeah,
something that like eating and nutrition, I just think needs to be worked into
yeah,
the plan of the actresses, like I think it needs to be important. Um and it's all about again like staying in that just comfortable like healthy range, like whatever that is for you, cuz it's just right under that is you're just really showcasing this unhealthy image to people, and that is what is I think problematic.
yeah. Did you notice, have you had any like longer term negative effects of specifically the eating disorder that you've noticed yet? Or
I mean, I guess osteoporosis.
is that
Yeah.
bone
It's like
density?
your bone density drops. I'd be curious to see in Hollywood who has a little bit of osteopenia or porosis.
Yeah. What's
I'm sure there's a
osteopenia?
lot of people. It's just before osteoporosis. Like really any malnutrition and stuff like really leads to bone loss. That's like the number one thing that you really lose by being malnourished over time is like your bones that you can't really grow back. Um
Probably easier to be injured than I'm guessing.
yeah, yeah. but
So
I
no
don't really
stunt,
do much.
no
I
stunts.
mean, yeah, no stunts. Um, I don't really. It's kind of my excuse to not go skiing in the winter because I live in Colorado. I'm like, I can't because I have this osteoporosis or pina or whatever.
Scary.
But yeah, I know it's crazy. I think it's just something that is so overlooked, and I think we're constantly talking about overeating and how much, bad stuff we're eating and what to avoid this and avoid this and avoid this and avoid this, and it's like we're not talking about like the dangers of undereating,
And
you
the
know?
thing that like Ozempic is like a big thing now. You know, it's kind of like it kicked off again, I guess, the
Like,
thin
yeah, it's also
culture.
killing people. It kills your bones
Yeah.
and your stomach. Like, I would say all my thoughts of me having like a terrible stomach was mainly because of my eating. And I think that that was always a thing. It's like, oh, I have stomach issues. And a lot of people say, oh, I have stomach issues and they're really skinny. And that's why. Well, the reason is because you're really skinny as well and you're not eating enough. And that's why your stomach is also in a funk, because
Yeah.
that was why mine was in a funk.
Your
You're just not
stomach
eating enough.
acid eats
It
your
has to
stomach
like eat
lining,
more and
right?
like process. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof, it's so, so interesting. I feel like we should get a like I don't want to say like a scientist, but maybe like a specialist on and we should talk to them about like the actual health
Yeah.
implications. Maybe we could have your nutritionist.
Oh gosh, I don't
Something.
like her.
Oh.
I don't like my nutritionist. I don't like any nutritionist. I will say I have beef with every nutritionist because just in general, someone telling me what to eat and what to do is just never going to go well. And I'm always going to fight back. But at the end of the day, I actually don't talk to my nutritionist anymore. She's on a no contact. Like, she just contacts my therapist, and I only talk to my therapist. I don't talk to my nutritionist anymore because we butted heads. And
Yeah.
I was like, I felt like she was lying and stuff. And I look, it's not. At the end of the day, she's a nutritionist and she studied whatever she studied. Okay. But I just think that a nutritionist, schmoonishness, like at the end of the day, because there's so many different diets and different things out there in today's society that it, like, really, there's so many. I mean, look, she has some great things to say and she has some good facts, but at the same time, I always believe that take everything with a grain of salt because no one person is like the answer to everything.
Why did
I
you have to go to the hospital?
I was about to die. Like,
How
they
did you
literally
know?
said I was going to die. Well, when I got back from Bali, and I kind of knew I was in bad shape, I got a call. I already told you, from Seth, remember? And then that's when I went. But that was when he also got like a doctor to come check me out to make sure I was okay. And that's when the doctor was like, you're not okay. You need to go to the hospital right now. You're actually in like severe stress. Your body is under like severe stress. You could go at soon. So you should go to the
Yeah.
hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the hospital.
Did you end up
It was
getting
crazy.
like what'd they do to you when you were there?
I just had to follow the meal plan. I just had to eat. I and it was just literally just throughout the day, different like snack meal. If you didn't finish it, you had to drink the Pedialyte or not, whatever that was, like the substitute thing. It was the worst. I mean, they didn't have gluten-free, dairy-free stuff. I told them, they didn't believe me that I had like intolerances because they say that like everyone says that, and all eating disorder people kind of say that they can't have this and that and whatever. And it was miserable because I had just terrible upset stomach like the whole time. I felt, you know, large the whole time, even though obviously I know I'm in a eating disorder unit and I'm not. And it's just so confusing. It's weird. I'm with a nurse 24/7, no privacy. But to be honest, I had a blast. I really enjoyed being in the hospital. There was something so freeing about like giving up, like the I've got this kind of thing. I think that that's a big thing. Like, just give it up. Like, you don't got it. Okay. Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, all the wicked people, the other girl, you don't got it. Whatever's going on, whatever diet you think you've got tailored, it's not going as well as you think it is. That's just how it is, you know?
They should have mandatory, because your blood will tell you. So they should have mandatory like blood work every 6 months for.
They would never do that. Well,
Really?
because
Why?
I mean, well, everyone wants to be able to, I don't know, do drugs or whatever, I would think. I mean,
Well,
performers and stuff don't have to be sober, you know,
yeah, no,
necessarily.
I'm just saying like to
But
check your levels of like health, not for drugs, but
yeah,
to do you have
I just think
enough?
that would go very sideways. I just think it needs to be just really like just human to human, just intuition, like just who looks healthy and who doesn't, you know? I think it's that simple. I mean, I think that there's been a really big change from when they filmed Wicked to now. So I'd be curious to see what happens after this. I would think they would need some sort of break or something. I can't see a world in which Ariana goes to a tour in the state that she's in. I don't know how she would do that. I really hope that she gets help before she does that, because that would be really hard on her. So yeah, I'm hoping that she sees this or sees something, or she gets help before she goes on tour, because I really just think that no one says anything before it's too late, and we don't have before prevention. We only have after. It's like, how many stars and celebrities do we know that have died like young? So many. And like we never know, and it's just like, oh, there they go. You know what I mean? And I just think when there's signs of someone, then you've got to do something.
The first step, I guess, is, us talking about it, your community talking about it, the eating disorder community online talking about it. I'm really glad that everybody's kind of chiming in, and also just looking out for each other too, right? Like as they see stuff like that online, I think that's really important. So you're doing the
Yeah.
work, and
Yeah.
and I really appreciate you for sharing your story, and thank you for all the things you're willing to say out loud that other people aren't willing to say out loud.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Is There More? I'm your host, Megan A Tully, and I'm listening. That was annewinters. I really enjoy hearing her talk about her eating disorder and what she's going through sort of in the moment. I never really did that when I was healing from mine. So it's cool to have her perspective and kind of, study where she's at and how she's feeling and what she's thinking within the process as far as her own healing journey, and as well as trying to help others recognize things in themselves that they need to change too. Possibly that could even be fueling her healing even more. But I'm curious what you guys think. If you guys have similar journeys with your own healing, whether that be with food or with anything else, let us know in the comments, and we'd love to hear from you. That was annewinters. I'm Megan A Tully, and this has been Is There More? Thanks for listening.